Last time we were talking about force oscillations, and I explained again that the force that we are applying to cause the oscillation, that force applied and also its frequency can control or can change the amplitude. Okay, so now let's build up on that idea. Let's continue with it. So we are going to talk about physics phenomena of resonance. This is not the resonance from organic chemistry. Okay, this is resonance from physics. Okay, so what is resonance? Well, resonance means it's one simple condition where some equation is true. What equation? It is that if the frequency of driving force, okay, what meaning of driving force? For example, here the swing, you are pushing the swing, so that's a driving force, correct? A force that will push the oscillation so that the oscillation can continue for long time. Okay, so the frequency of the driving force is, if the frequency of driving force is equal to the natural frequency of oscillating system, or for short, oscillating system is also called oscillator. Anything that oscillates is called an oscillator, right? So what have we written? If the frequency of the driving force, Fd for driving, right? Frequency of the driving force that is causing the oscillations is equal to the natural frequency, which is generally written as F0. Okay, if that is equal to the natural frequency of the oscillating system, then what happens is resonance. Okay, so what typically happens in resonance is as follows. If so, these two become equal, right? Let's continue the definition. The amplitude of oscillation becomes very large, or you could say, yeah, fine, very large is good. Okay, we don't have to worry about the term. So if that is the amplitude of oscillation becomes very large, this condition or this situation is known as resonance. Okay, so what have we written here? Suppose you think of some oscillating system or some oscillator. Let's say, suppose a pendulum without air resistance. Okay, ideal case. In ideal case, the pendulum will oscillate for small oscillations, let's say with a time period 2 pi under root L by. So from that you can find its frequency also. F will be equal to 1 by 2 pi under root G by L. Okay. So this is called the natural frequency of oscillator. Is it clear? This is called the natural frequency of oscillator. Another example of natural frequency. If you take a spring mass system, you pull it, you leave it. Now suppose there is no friction, no air resistance, then this will oscillate, okay, forever. This would be natural oscillations because there is no other force acting on it. Then what will be the frequency? 1 by 2 pi under root K by M. This is also the natural frequency. Did you understand what is the meaning of natural frequency? On its own, it will keep oscillating, right? You don't have to do anything. With what frequency? That frequency is called natural frequency, right? So imagine this now. Okay, let's consider a spring mass system to start with, right? Let's consider a spring mass system. suppose have a string mass system, and let's say we are applying a force on it, okay, which is a driving force that is it's pushing it so that it will oscillate, right? Okay, so then do you realize that, let's say you tap it or you push it once over here from mean position, so it will start moving. It will go there, it will come back. Okay, when it comes back to mean position, you let it go. Then once again, when it comes here, you give it a push again. So every time it's going there, you give it a push from the back. Okay, every time you do that. So do you realize that gradually A will become larger and larger and larger? Yes or no? Think about it. Every time it's trying to go towards left side. Every time it's trying to go towards left side. Let's say it oscillates and then going there. So you push it from the back. Okay, you give it a push on the back. So amplitude will rise. Yes. Clear? Okay. Now, what that means is, suppose, listen to this. Suppose there was, okay, let there be no damping forces. What is the meaning of damping forces? Damping means resistive forces. Alright? Okay, suppose there are no resistive forces. Then every time you give a push, the amplitude will rise and rise and rise and rise. Correct? Okay, so do you realize that there will be no limit to the amplitude? Of course, ignoring that it will hit here. Okay, let's say the string is fairly long. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every time you give it a push from the back, amplitude keeps increasing. Right? So there would be no limit to this. There would be absolutely no limit to the amplitude. First time it might go till here and come back. Second time it will go further. Third time it will go even further. Fourth time it will go even further. Do you understand? Right? So this is, in fact, this is how you do it in swing also. Right? When you are sitting on a swing and the swing is oscillating. Right? So each time the swing comes here at the center, you give it a push using your feet. Right? So it gets a force. So that way the amplitude will increase. Right? That way the amplitude will increase. So this is the condition of resonance, where these two frequencies match. That is, this block goes there, comes back, let's say in some time interval. So you also apply force in the same time. I repeat. Let's say it took 1 second to go like this and come back here. So its time period is 1 second. Okay, so you will also apply force at time period of 1 second. So driving force will also have time period 1 second. In short, their frequencies are equal. If time periods are equal, frequencies are equal. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so like that, you are helping it every time, more and more, right? So the amplitude keeps increasing. Same thing here. So it goes here, comes back, comes to this point, you once again push it with your feet. That goes there, comes back, push it with your feet. You do this, right? I hope you realize you do this every time. Correct? So this way, if there are no damping forces, amplitude keeps rising. Do you understand this? Or amplitude keeps increasing, yes or no? If there are no damping forces, amplitude will keep increasing, correct? There would be no limit to it. There would be no limit to it, right? But that's not real. I hope you understand that in real there are damping or there are resistive forces. But still, even if there are resistive forces, this sentence will still be true. What's that? When this happens, the amplitude will become very large. Clear? It won't become infinite, I agree. Right? So you can say that if damping forces are present, amplitude does not grow to infinite but becomes very large. Okay, hopefully you understood this thing, right? Okay, so what do damping forces do? They decrease amplitude. I hope you remember that. Damping forces will decrease the amplitude. That's why it's like a battle. Okay, battle between resonance and damping forces. Right? So when both are there, amplitude will still grow. It will not go to infinity. It will not become extremely large like infinite, but still it is fairly large. Okay? So what we have been talking about here is a very useful thing in physics and even in engineering to a large aspect. So for example, you can listen to radio, okay, FM, AM, whatever channels you may have heard or may have listened to in your life using resonance. There is no doubt about it, right? Then this particular concept is also important in preventing buildings from earthquake damage, right? You see, the thing is that everything can oscillate. Think of a pen. Pen is also like a pendulum. It can oscillate. Just like that, a building can also oscillate. Does it make sense to you? This is a building, let's say. So when the earth will vibrate, you realize this will oscillate. Yes or no? You get what I'm saying? So suppose by chance the length, the mass is such that the earthquake's frequency becomes equal to natural frequency of building, then that's going to be very harmful for the building and its residents. You understand what I'm saying? Because in that case, earthquake is driving force. So frequency of the driving force means frequency with which earth vibrates. If that becomes equal to natural frequency of the building, then the amplitude will become very large. Then the building will shake tremendously and ultimately it will be destroyed. Understood? Clear? Like I said, these are some of the many examples where resonance occurs in real life, okay, around us, right? Another example of resonance is instruments, all kinds of musical instruments, flute, guitar, violin, anything, right? All these instruments, they work based on the idea of resonance. That, for example, there is a string, let's say, in a guitar or a violin. This string, I don't know whether you might have noted, it will vibrate. Have you seen anyone play a guitar or violin? Sometimes the string vibrates or oscillates. Have you seen that? So when will it produce a loud sound? Only when the amplitude is large. It can produce a loud sound only when the amplitude is large. Okay? And to make the amplitude large, we need resonance. So that's why it has to be designed, it has to be played in a proper technique so that resonance can occur. You understand what I'm saying? Right? In fact, the player, the musician is responsible in this case for making driving force equal to F0. Right? If that doesn't happen, the music will play very badly. You will not even be able to appreciate or even understand what's going on, right? It might sound like a very harsh or very unpleasant sound, right? If everything doesn't go well. So like I said, resonance, we're seeing it at so many places around us. Okay, so this part is what I want you to remember. This part is what I want you to remember. It's that whenever the natural frequency of oscillator and the frequency of the driving force, when they become equal. Again, what is a driving force? a force that pushes objects around so that oscillations will continue. You understand what I'm saying? Example of driving force is pushing the swing. Alright? So this is what we have for resonance. Okay? These two become equal, that's called resonance, and what happens in that case? The amplitude becomes very large. If there is no damping, amplitude will become infinite. Okay? But this is not real case, it is only ideal. This is the real case, that if damping is present or if damping forces are there like air resistance, friction and all that, then the amplitude will be very large but it will not become infinite. Alright? So that's it for this chapter, everyone. Okay? We have finished the 14th chapter, that is simple, that is oscillations, right? Which is mostly about simple harmonic. Okay?